It was probably not the best move to try and set that up, was it? So I'm obviously wearing the same clothes, but I'm actually getting kind of cold now. So I'm going to put my shirt back on like a decent lady. And, anyway, this is going to be on what's driving me to this little force where I feel the really large need to now finally do what I've wanted to do for quite some time and, you know, like vlog or make videos about how I feel. I've really wanted to for quite some time, but I've always been kind of like self-conscious or terrified of what people might say because people are so goddamn mean. But at this point, I don't have anything to lose. I don't. I've had people tell me to go die. I don't really care at this point. So here's the thing. I said I would make a video about today. Like, oh, do you see the puppy? Do you see the puppy? This is my puppy. She's a service dog. Special puppy. Okay, sorry. Anyway, so here's the thing. Today, my anxiety has gotten to a point where I feel like a really bad person, and I felt like maybe it was time to finally jump on that thing where I've wanted to do for so long. I'm super pale. Can't really see my eyes. They're the same color as this shirt. You can't tell because my lighting in my house sucks. It was built around the 70s. Apparently then it was like cool to not have ceiling lights in most of the rooms. I don't really know. It's kind of irritating. But anyway, I digress. Guess what? That is a huge percent of my personality is a lot of digression and spiraling into other concepts or like talking. So it is one of those things that you might have to get used to because I don't plan on like editing it out or anything. So anyway, today my anxiety has a lot to do with feeling like a crap person because I can't do a lot of things. The past couple weeks, I've not been feeling so good. I've been feeling worse than usual, and then I want to say like 4 days ago, I stopped not being able to sleep. Usually, I take my Phenergan, which is a medicine that makes you feel tired, but it also stops you from vomiting in the middle of the night, because carpet and vomit doesn't go together, okay? It just doesn't. And I just can sleep. And the problem is that now it's making my arms and my legs, and I dare I say, the rest of my body, feel like I have restless legs. Like that little feeling that makes you want to kick, even though you're so tired, you want to just like bang your head against the wall or something, so it will stop. I guess it's the best way to put it, because it feels pretty desperate. And I'm connected to an IV pump at night, and anybody who's been in the hospital knows when those things get like a little bit of occlusion, they sing the song of their people, which by the way means beep really loud. And I understand that's a protective mechanism, but when you can't sleep, it's also an annoying mechanism. So then I've had to like cut off the nutrition a little earlier than I should because it runs 14 hours a day, and that leaves you feeling. I've never drank, not drunk. And but I have friends who are also on TPN who have had points in time in their life where they were able to drink and get hung over, and they say that's what it feels like when you miss a day of TPN. To me, it just feels like you're dying. So then I'm getting like 2 hours of sleep because my kid wakes up at night still for a bottle because I'm trying to break it, but he's got some eating things that are weird. So, like, I'm not getting sleep, and then I'm trying to sleep when he's napping, and it's not working because I just can't sleep, and then I get scared to sleep at night because I'm scared of having all night of not being able to sleep, but being so tired that you feel like you're going to like, you want to just like punch your arms so they hurt and not feel twitchy. It's not a good idea. 10 out of 10. Don't recommend. But so that's happening, and like my son's dad was sick, so he couldn't take him. He gets him one night every week, and so he couldn't take him for that, and that's when I was planning on like attempting to clean. So it didn't happen, and I'm just feeling worse and worse, and when I miss the TPN, get the passing out gets worse, and I can run like hydration on like a IV pole. Like we're just gonna show you like that IV pole. But the problem is that it doesn't necessarily work for everything. It doesn't get rid of most of the feelings. Let's just be like straight up honest. Apparently, the neurologist I just saw said that it should be 3%, like 3.0% sodium. And the bags I have are 0.9% sodium. I can say words. So that's a little bit of a thing. Like, that's a big disparate, like, if you were putting a car or something else with like a percent that you're supposed to have versus what you just stick in because it's normal, that kind of thing, except for it's a body and you don't want to die. It's not going to kill me, but it doesn't help anything because apparently I don't regulate sodium. I'm not even going to go into that because right now I don't know everything about why. Okay? That's just all I know. And so my house is getting messier and messier, and then my water heater broke at 10 at night. Fortunately, it did not explode. I went downstairs because my son's bath was like super cold, and I noticed there's like water on the top of the thing, and I called my mom because I have a temporary wall in so he can't touch the stuff in the basement that's dangerous. So we had to unscrew it and move the wall. And we turned off the gas and we turned off the water. Long story short, therefore I had to call maintenance in the morning. And you know how I feel about phone calls. If you watched my first video, I hate them. And I will literally avoid them at all costs. I called, I said, look, I turned everything off. I need to leave because they're weird about my service dog. So I dropped her off at my ex's house where she could chill with his dog because he wasn't home, but you know, then she's got company because she doesn't like leaving my side. Look, doesn't leave my side. It's not necessarily safe to have her not with me, but you know, if you're anxious and talking to people you don't know when you're upset makes your heart rate go to like almost 200, you just kind of avoid it. You know what I mean? Just avoid it. You gotta do what you gotta do. Sometimes it's not fun, sometimes it's not recommended, but that's what happens. So they came and they fixed it, and I believe this was like Thursday probably because it was like not that long ago, and my house was already like real messy. Not the part that they should have had to go into, but you know, the bathrooms. Places that people don't like people you don't know walking into when they are messy. I come back, they're replacing my water heater. Yay! Doesn't cost me anything extra because I pay maintenance fees. So and like they pay rentals insurance with that. So either way, they replaced it and they were nice and everything, but they turned the water back on to the house and they came upstairs and they like were in my gross bathroom. I was so embarrassed. Like, I get so mortified when I have messy things because I don't want it to be that way. I don't want to be a messy person. But when you don't feel good and you're not getting sleep and everything's getting like tossed around in like all kinds of ways like that, I don't know. I don't even know how to explain that. You just don't like, you can't do anything about it. So it's just embarrassing and you feel awful. And I felt really bad, and I called my mom when she was off work, and I was just like, I'm gonna cry because people walked into my house, and I tried to make sure it was like clean-ish, you know. And then they went somewhere I didn't expect them to, and now I'm mortified, and I have medical stuff all over my house. It's like a little bitty hospital, and that's just kind of embarrassing to me. I don't know why. I guess I don't want people to know like how vulnerable I am. I don't even know. I just don't like being messy. I don't like people seeing because they think, oh, you're disabled and you have a kid and you're messy. You know, I don't know. That's my personal issue. Okay, so I'm not. And then my mom came over to help watch my son because I don't feel good, and then I didn't get sleep and I couldn't function, man. And I hate having to ask for help. It makes me feel like a terrible person to have to ask for somebody who is older than me because she is my parent to come help watch my kid. Because she's got arthritis and she has to get her second hip replaced. And so I know she doesn't feel good and it makes me feel like a trash human being. Okay? Just like a trash human being. And, like the past 2 or 3 days, she's been coming over after work and trying to help me clean my house because it's become ridiculous. I had a week-long stint at the beginning of January in the hospital, so like, my house is fucking messy. She helped me clean it out, but I could tell she's tired and I feel like an awful person. Like, I really appreciate it from her. I do, more than anything. That's part of the reason I moved up here. Because I was having a lot of issues in my marriage, and I, like, subconsciously was telling myself that I could wait till my kid was 5, because in my little messed up brain, I thought, I can work. Nope. But, you know, you do what you've got to do. It depends on your life situation. But either way, you know, I'm happy that she helped me, but today she left, and I just have this feeling of feeling like a bad person. I feel like a bad person. I can take care of my kid. He is always clean. His clothes are always clean. He has a clean diaper on. You know, like, he's really into choo-choos. It's the only word he says. It's like toot-toot. So, look, trains, tracks. Like, he has food. I do healthy food-ish because he's 2 and he would prefer to just eat jars of peanut butter, straight up natural, you know, the expensive shit. He won't eat the cheap stuff, which is fine because it's not real good for you, but if it was up to him, he would just be elbow deep in peanut butter. Every day, all his food. That and grits, which I find horrifyingly needed. But either way, so, you know, I am always clean myself. Okay, I cut my hair short because it was falling out like a year ago, and it's actually been the best choice ever. I did like my long hair, but sometimes you have to choose what makes life easier. Is not washing my hair or just dunking it into the sink or whatever. Is that easier? Yup. Then sometimes you've got to do that. But the thing is it's like, I don't know, it just left me feeling, I don't even know what the word for that would be, right? Just like a bad person. Like, I know I'm not, and I know there's going to be some idiot commenting whatever they feel like saying, but everything I do, I usually have a fairly clean house. I mean, it's not perfect. I have a 2-year-old and I'm sick, so it's not going to be perfect. Deal with it. But usually, things are vacuumed. I wipe the counters. I sweep the floor. When I feel like it, I mop. Most of it's carpet anyway, so, but, you know, I do the laundry like a normal person. Give him baths. Bathe the dog who doesn't like bath time. And however, she doesn't like it. But she will, you know, walk to the bathtub, stand there, refuse to move while you're washing her, but she doesn't like try and escape or anything. It's just life. So, there's that. That's how I'm feeling today, and I made my intro video because I figured if I kind of gave people like a generalization of my life, me complaining right now would be less weird. Because, like, if you don't know, when I have I have short hair, I mean, you might think I have cancer. At least there's a treatment for that. Most of my illnesses, there are no cures and no treatments that we've tried a lot that I'm not allergic to or have really bad results or have, like, no results, you know. So I figured I'd kind of put that out there first so we don't have, like, confusion. But yeah, and I don't know, there's just some days, like, also my ex is going on a vacation for a week or 2. I see how much I pay attention to other people's shit. But anyway, it's like at the end of March, and my mom's supposed to get her hip surgery then, and last time I was like her person who came to the hospital, and you have to wait till they're done with the surgery and everything to get them to the floor, which I'm fine with doing. But if I don't have anybody to watch my son, because those are the only 2 people I trust, or that live close enough. You know what I mean? Yeah, you know what I mean. So anyway, he's going to be doing it like right about that time he's going to be leaving. So I'm not going to be able to help her like I'd like to be there, because she's there for me, right? And she's my mom and I love her, and if she died, I would like, I'm not going to talk about that right now, because I've thought about it a few times and it terrifies me so deeply to have the only person I talk to disappear. No. Anyway, she's also planning on going on a trip with my brother, who like is successful, unlike me, and he's got a decent job. I'm actually pretty proud of him. It just makes me feel bad too. I don't know how to put that. My brother went to college. He did internship at Ford, and then they offered him a job. I am proud of that. That is amazing. But they're going to be leaving the country. And I really would like my mom to go and enjoy herself, but it terrifies the living daylights out of me. Because, you know, we're in America, and we have, I'm not going to be political, but there's some shit going on, and I don't want her leaving the country. Like, we are all born here for decades and decades and generations, so it's not like she's going to be deported. It's just, she doesn't speak another language. If you go to Paris and you open your mouth, they know you're American. You might be able to claim Canadianness, because we are in Michigan and I can drive 20 minutes and go to Canada. But that kind of worries me, and like, deep down inside, I'm thinking, oh my God, what if this is so selfish. God, I'm so selfish. I think, what if I get sick? Because when I have an infection in my line, you gotta go to the hospital ASAP. Or it could go in your blood, and I've had that happen once or twice, and it is awful. Sepsis. Not fun. It's bad. It's terrible. And you know, personally, God, I say it, and it's so selfish. It's like ridiculous selfishness, but I don't want to lose her to start with, and that's why the surgery kind of bugs me, and I get surgery all the time. I don't know why I worry about it, other than like, I don't really have any real life friends. She's the only person I talk to every day, other than my son's father, who I do, because I don't hate him. He's got issues. I'm not going to talk about that today. Anyway, so there's that. I'm literally, all of this has kind of like snowballed into everybody told me, like, oh, I'm going on vacation, and I knew he was, but he didn't have a date, and then I knew my mom was going to get her hip done again, but I didn't know the date, because I think she forgot to tell me. She probably thought she did. I don't know. It's not her fault, right? But everybody tells me this, and then, sorry, I also get my jaw sticking, so I kind of got to crack it so I can keep talking. Like, everybody just told me this at once. And I mean, it was like the same day that I went to the neurologist, and he laid like all this information that I know a lot about the dysautonomia. I wasn't aware of the different ways, other than like, you know, genetic or acquired. There's some other ways and things that go along with it, where it wouldn't just be like straight up what you read when you type it in Wikipedia. That's my point. It's kind of scary. I'm allergic to a lot of meds, so they would have to do something like a pacemaker that stops my heart from going too low, but also potentially, let's say also, but and or, because you never know, or one too low, you just pass out. For me, that's not so bad. Being unconscious is not painful. The other one, because I did clinicals in a pacemaker area and I watched people get defibbed while they were awake, it hurts like a lot. And if your heart rate exceeds a certain point, it's not safe. And a pacemaker will do something kind of like a defib, you know, like clear. That's kind of terrifying. I'd be like worried. They'd be like running around with my son and be like, surprise, your heart's back in a normal rhythm, but I'm sure that hurt. I mean, there's other things. That just worries me a little. Like, I'm game for anything that makes me feel less like shit, really. But all of this stuff kind of happened, and like, my hair doesn't look good anymore, on the same day. And I think we're edging from a week where everything started, to accumulate. And, I don't know, I'm not sleeping, that's happening, I don't feel good. My grandpa is the only other person in the world that I, like, loved and trusted and stuff, and it totally broke me when he died. I think I was, like, just getting out of high school, so that was quite some time ago. We're talking, like, over 10 years. But, I don't know, sometimes when I can't sleep and I have dreams about him, it freaks me out. And then I miss having somebody who, like, cared about you, but it wasn't because you were successful. It's just kind of all hitting me at once, and, like, sometimes I don't know how I'm gonna make it. I don't know. I feel like my kid's gonna hate me, and then I'm not gonna make it, and I'm worried, like, financially and everything else. And then when people who are the only people who, like, can watch your child or help you, when they talk about going somewhere and people who have central lines or, like, precarious health conditions kind of know that, like, you don't get to choose when you get sick, and it's usually at the most inconvenient possible time. Like, I've been in the hospital Thanksgiving, Christmas, not all in one year, okay? Halloween. The only thing I haven't been on is for my birthday, and maybe Easter. We managed to land me there at 4th of July, which is, like, the last remaining holiday. Last year it was a mess because none of the doctors there were, like, my normal doctors, and it's just all accumulating. And sometimes it feels good for me to talk about it outside of people who are the two people I talk to, because, like, they're the two people involved in the situation making me uncomfortable, and they all say the kind of thing that I already know, that I'm being selfish, so thanks, but I need to have my selfish pity party for a few minutes, because, ooh, ugly hands, because that's how it works, right? That's how it works. So I'm gonna go. It's almost 3 o'clock here, and my son gets up at 4, and I would like to be able to, like, prep some food to feed him, because when he's hungry, like, now, and if you're a few minutes too late to his hungry party, he won't eat. Yay! So, with bottle breaking and everything, it's sometimes really hard, and for me, it tends to be like, okay, you're gonna sleep 2 hours, so I'm gonna spend, like, an hour making food that I can, like, nuke in the microwave for a few seconds, so when you decide, like, the 4 seconds you're gonna be hungry today to eat, I don't miss it. He's also, I'm not gonna talk about that right now. I need to go. I have rambling problems. It happens. If you guys have negative comments, you know where you can put it, where the sun don't shine, because if your comment is that, like, you can't hear me or you can't see me, that's cool. Maybe improvement on maybe apps that don't suck as movie editing, that would be fine. I have an Android. But otherwise, if for some reason you like watching people have their anxiety pity party, and maybe you identify with it and it makes you feel like you're not the only person who's, like, walking around half dead in the world, that's cool. You can subscribe down here or up there, depending on what format you're watching this in. Also, my username for YouTube is not _yetdead, and it is also a Reddit and an Instagram that I have an account on. If there's I highly doubt there's going to be a bunch of comments, but if there is and I don't see it and you want to know something, you can join the pity party. Otherwise, you know, I don't expect people to watch this. I'm probably going to watch it later so I can feel bad about myself because I apparently like to do that. That seems to be a thing in my life recently. At some point I might get lamps that don't suck so I don't have to stand in, like I'm in front of a glass door. And I think people might think I'm nuts because they can't see my phone and I'm just like animatedly talking to a window. And I'm not talking to my dog because she's like nappy nappy. So I'm gonna go. I will talk to you guys later. If you feel like you can't do it, hold on another day. Okay? You're succeeding in continuing your life if you wake up tomorrow morning. It doesn't have to be perfect. I would say most of my life, I'm 28, so over half of my life has been not perfect. So just take a deep breath, and there are people who feel the same way with you. And if you have to tell someone out loud, then tell them out loud. Like, if you have to do it on a vlog that no one's gonna watch, then do that. If you have to write a letter that you don't think anyone's gonna read, then do that. Like, even if you mail it to someone and they might actually read it, don't worry about it, just mail it. I've done it before. Sometimes it feels okay to do that. I'm gonna peace out, because I'm not gonna miss my magic minute to make some, like, rice with soy sauce and eggs, because we have weird taste preferences for a 2-year-old. So, I'm gonna go. You guys can do it. Keep breathing. Keep your heart beating. Lay down at night and just realize when you open your eyes in the morning, you have succeeded because you are alive. Thanks.